The paradox of time. In the quaint town of Serendipity, there lived a watchmaker named Elias. He was renowned for his intricate timepieces, each one a testament to his skill and dedication. But Elias was not just a craftsman, he was a man obsessed with time. He believed that time was not linear, but a vast, swirling ocean of moments, waiting to be explored. One day, a mysterious stranger arrived in Serendipity. He was an old man, with a face etched by time and eyes that held 1,000 stories. He introduced himself as Kronos and requested Elias to repair an ancient timepiece. It was unlike anything Elias had ever seen, a marvel of gears and cogs, encased in a shell of shimmering metal. As Elias worked on the timepiece, he discovered a hidden mechanism. It was a tiny dial, marked with symbols he didn't recognize. Overcome by curiosity, he turned the dial. Suddenly, the room spun around him, and when he opened his eyes, he was standing in the same spot, but the town of Serendipity was different. The buildings were taller, the streets busier. He had traveled into the future. He spent the day exploring this new world, marveling at the advancements. But as the sun set, he felt a pang of homesickness. He returned to where his shop once stood, turned the dial on the timepiece, and found himself back in his own time. Word of Elias's adventures spread throughout Serendipity. People were fascinated, but also fearful. They questioned the ethics of time travel, the potential to alter the past or the future. Elias, too, began to ponder these questions. He had the power to change time, but should he? One day, a young girl named Lily came to him. Her mother was gravely ill, and the doctors had given up hope. Tearfully, Lily asked Elias to go back in time and prevent her mother from falling ill. He wanted to help Lily, but he also understood the dangers of meddling with time. In the end, Elias made a decision. He took the timepiece and traveled back, not to change the past, but to bring back a doctor from the future. The doctor had knowledge and medicines that didn't exist in Elias's time. With his help, Lily's mother was cured. Elias's actions sparked a debate in Serendipity. Some hailed him as a hero, others as a meddler of fate. Elias realized that time, like a river, has its own course. It can be observed, even traveled, but never controlled. In the end, Elias returned the timepiece to Kronos, who had been watching silently. Kronos nodded in approval, saying time is a paradox, both fragile and robust. It's a teacher, a healer, and a storyteller. You've learned its lessons well. Some text goes here. From that day, Elias went back to making ordinary watches, but he was changed. He had seen the river of time in all its majesty and terror. He understood that every tick of a clock was a moment to be cherished, not altered. And that was the greatest lesson time had to offer. The story of Elias and the paradox of time became a legend in Serendipity, a tale that made people ponder the nature of time, the ethics of power, and the importance of living in the present. It was a story that held their attention, from the first word to the last.